Heading into the first best of 5 between SkillCapped and Three Amigos right now.
So SkillCapped is going to be on your left, Sodah on Druid, Chanimal on Warlock, Talbadar playing that Elemental Shaman role with that team. And of course, top right is going to be Three Amigos, CDew on Resto Shaman, Venruki on Mage, and Snutz on Warlock. No changes. It's exactly what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no way they're going to mix it up at this point in the game. You know, maybe if some team goes down 2-0 and they're just getting crushed, then maybe you'll see some swap ups. But I don't think we have to worry about that just yet. And Venruki going to throw down that Pet Nova, wants to make sure Snutz gets the gateway he does desire. He's going to be able to do it. Both the gateways ending up on the same hole, but coming from a different one. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how this starts off. And for now, both teams just going to kind of poking away at each other. But I feel like, you know, the MLS really is going to be the ones that are going to want to try to push the pace a little bit, get in there, and we'll see how early they're going to be able to do that. Because I think in this poke wars, it definitely is going to go into the favor, you know, of Talb, Chanimal, and Sodah. And I really just want to see them make Sodah uncomfortable. And now that they do have those 5 icicles stacked up, they're looking to get something done here. And now comes the deep freeze onto Sodah. They're going to be putting the damage onto Chanimal. Actually, those icicles not going to get unleashed just yet. So nice fear though off of that deep freeze. Very good setup, actually. And I think they want to go back onto Talbadar, and Talbadar knows it. He's going to throw down that defensive beam, but Venruki has still held his icicles this whole time. He's not been baited into using it into a bad situation, which I think is very, very well played. Most people would have just pressed Ice Lance by now, honestly, but he's waiting for it, and he may unleash them now as Chanimal is kind of in an awkward position, and he does decide to do that. You can see those icicles shooting out and the Chanimal, going to dip him down to about half HP. And so far, you know, I'm liking this from Three Amigos. They are going to pull back now as he was getting dipped down, and yeah, the Heart of the Wild goes up, and they don't want to mess with that.
No, they don't at all. You know, look at Sodah start to push in cat form right now, trying to find CDew, who is down to half. Right now, Bash comes out onto CDew, but Sodah isn't going to follow it up with any type of damage. NS Clone comes out on CDew also. Both Venruki and Snutz kind of low. Snutz has that Demon Soul up, getting those big dots out on the enemy team. As you see, Talbadar down to half right now. That was a decent amount of damage onto Talbadar. Chan also tossing up his Demon Soul, you know, getting those big Soul Burn, Soul Swap dots up onto the enemy team. Early on during this match, CDew had time to dispel many of those dots, which is why his team was looking so good. Big
Capstone, though, comes in. That's going to force the Nature's Guardian and proc, and CDew gets bounced away. The Ascendant's NS does have to come up. He couldn't unleash it, though, because he just did not have enough time. The Healing Tide going down there as well. So, you know, all this coming from that great offensive play there from Sodah and SkillCapped. And we do see the swap over onto Sodah. They're going to try to pressure him. They're going to try to make him pay. It doesn't look like he's even using the Bark Stand. Not sure if he has it up, but he's going to get Shadow Fury off that, taking some significant damage there, but really not too much of a worry, as he did have the Bark Stand available and didn't even decide to use it. We do see the Hex now coming out onto CDew, though. Fear over onto Venruki. The Mass Entanglement goes down. CS over onto Snutz, and SkillCapped really dictating this early game so far. But, you know, CDew, he's going to have to pick his team back up. They're going to have to stabilize before they can actually get aggressive.
Now, Venruki down to half right now with CDew in that clone. Sodah doing a great job of playing right in their face. Stormlash Totem does come down from SkillCapped, but an excellent AoE fear from Snutz right there, breaking it up. CDew with another Dispel, you know, knowing that he's going to have some time to heal up. And look at that. His team is slowly reaching back up to full life. Talbadar definitely the target of the enemy team, as that Iron Bark does come out from Sodah. As the very end of the Stormlash Totem fades, you know, we see that Windwalk Totem coming down from CDew, helping Venruki out, kiting a bit as he's back here with his teammates, but Sodah right in their face the entire time.
Yeah, he's playing so aggressive, and really SkillCapped has been the ones dictating the pace of this game. We do see the bash into the Hex onto CDew. It's not able to be decursed just yet by Ven. He's trying to get back to him. He's going to be unleashing those icicles onto Talbadar, but Talbadar's not been baited into using his Shaman Rage even once yet. You know, as soon as the orb comes out, he'll probably Shaman Rage it, but just the deep freeze, they're not able to force it. And we do see that there's the deep freeze onto Sodah. It was DR'd, unfortunately, from that Shadow Fury earlier, though, and he's not able to get anything off of that. He's going for the poly now. The NS Clone comes out onto CDew, and Venruki and Snutz really starting to rot heavily here, and CDew's going to get feared off that. Doesn't look like he has a tremor, and honestly, Three Amigos are looking like they are in a world of trouble. The Shadow Fury does come in. It's going to hit all three as well. The Capstone goes down. There's the Nature's Guardian. The Link has to come out as well as the Trinket from CDew, and that's his last major cooldown, and SkillCapped are not slowing down at all. We do see once again now the Bark's finally forced out as the orb comes out, and that's what they're waiting for. SkillCapped is not being baited into wasting anything. They're only using their defensive, their damage reduction cooldowns when the orb comes out.
It's true. I mean, Sodah, you know, hardly using anything during that onslaught. You know, Venruki having to trinket also. There's no trinkets available for Three Amigos. I haven't seen Venruki have to block quite yet. His pet is actually getting quite low. You know, down to 20% life as he is getting some heals from CDew. CDew gets in that full clone. You know, right when he had the unleash up, Venruki. There we go. Now they're forcing the block onto Venruki.
Yeah.
That's the first.
And the Hex comes out on CDew out of that bash, and Ven, you know, not able to get the decurse just yet. It does get decursed up, or actually broken by the dots, and Ven just has to get out of there. And I mean, CDew is kind of left a little bit on his own. Is he going to be able to get through the gateway? He does. They're going to reconvene on the other side. The one kind of bright spot here for Three Amigos is that CDew's mana is exceptionally high at this point still, because although they have been under massive amounts of pressure, he's been getting CC'd a lot, and he has been keeping his mana high. So when they do get these brief moments, they can actually recover. But it's just the fact of how are they going to ever get a kill when they cannot force out these defensives? They can't even stay offensive.
Yeah, and Sodah is just playing 40 yards right now, sitting back. He doesn't have very many cooldowns up. Of course, he does have that Iron Bark and that Bark Skin. Long time left on Heart of the Wild still. A big fear onto both CDew and Venruki. That is Tremored. His Tremor just came back up right there as the Healing Tide also goes down.
Yeah, the healing tide is going to be dropped there. We do see that Venruki, getting dotted up. Another Hex landing on CDew. He's just been getting hexed on demand, it feels like right now, by Talbadar. Talbadar just being able to land those out of CCs constantly, and his teammates helping them set him up with the Shadow Freeze, with the bashes and everything, making it so CDew can't really do anything about it. Now the clone comes off of that out of a bash, so CDew getting CC'd way more than you're used to kind of seeing that happen to him, honestly, against a comp like this. And, it's a testament to SkillCapped, their coordination. Venruki starting to rock down pretty low here. May have to get out of there. CDew once again does have the Ascendancy. The NS comes out. The Trinket comes out as well. But a beautiful offensive clone is going to deny the healing, and they're going to swap the clone over onto CDew. Just so well played there by Sodah, really dictating this game for his team. And, Venruki's in trouble, man. CDew, not getting the most out of his Ascendants because of those beautiful clones. He had the clone on CDew. He triggers that, pops the cooldowns. The offensive clone comes out on Venruki and then swap back to CDew. And he's just not getting a chance to spend his mana.
He isn't. His entire team had to gate away also. That stopped their offensive push completely. But, look at the health bars of SkillCapped, and that's been this entire time. They did pressure Talbadar a little bit. They did get a deep freeze on to Sodah, but there's no pressure. Sodah's just, this is his game at this point.
Yeah, and there's the orb coming out there onto Talb. Talb getting him way too far, honestly. This is the first kind of mistake I've seen from SkillCapped. Talb really overextending, had no hots on himself, got down to about 200k HP. He's going to be able to force out the block, though, with that Charm Range. And, there was some miscommunications. The CDew got LOS a couple times in a row by Venruki, and you can't afford that. When your healer's getting pressured this hard, CC'd this hard, you cannot LOS his heals at all, because it just puts him even further behind. It puts him in a situation where he's having blow cooldowns that he doesn't want to, and Venruki now is in a spot where if they can get back to him, they could finish this off right here, right now. Snutz having to use his healing cooldowns, Sodah even building up some combo points in cat form at this point. That's how little healing he's having to do.
Yeah, just preempting that Heart of the Wild, has those points onto Venruki, trying to get his elemental back out, which he did, but still triple dots all over the enemy team so far. Three Amigos just rotting down very slowly, but CDew's mana is in a perfect position still. If they can recover from this, they might be doing okay. The only thing down, honestly, is Venruki's double block. Yeah,
and Talb doesn't have his Charm Rage just yet. Sodah was put into a fear. That's going to be tremored up, though, by Talb, and we do see the sheep coming out on Sodah, so this could be, a bit of a scary moment here for Talb if they can get the damage rolling onto him. Can they follow the CC on Sodah? They do get another sheep out, but there's nothing really coming in on Talbadar. He's going to gate away. His Charm Rage is back up in 2. He's going to be okay, but Three Amigos starting to show some signs of life here. Talbadar on the overextension. They forced out the Charm Range. They had a little bit of a scary moment there as they got the CC, and now the swap over to Chanimal. Chanimal taking big damage. The Halotera comes in. No Tremor Totem available. Chanimal in big trouble actually here. He does have his healing cooldowns up. He's not going to decide to use them, but there's the MCS off of that, and I think he waited too long. He could be in trouble here. The orb, unfortunately, is not connecting, but they are going to force the Charm Range out of Talbadar at the same time, and now Chanimal does have to use his healing cooldowns a little bit late, kind of just trying to hold on to them, but he was not able to do it, and some big cooldowns forced out here by Three Amigos, and this is the kind of play we need to see from them if they want to take this series. So there's another water elemental kill. That was a great job by Sodah right there, tossing out the Cyclone onto Venruki to stop that. Big Hex onto CDew right there. That does get dispelled by Venruki, which was an excellent time because Venruki was kind of in trouble. Talbadar's in a lot of trouble, man. There's no Trinket on Sodah. He has no Charm Rage either. They're going to have to be very, very careful here. Talbadar could actually go down if they can get one CC out onto Sodah. We do see the Halotera comes in. There's the Shadow Fear onto Sodah. Can they follow it up with the Fear? They do get it. We do see that it was broken. There was a pre-tremor, I think, dropped by Talbadar in the background. Either that or it was triple DR, but Chanimal in trouble as well. The MCS comes in, and SkillCapped is starting to fall apart a little bit here under the onslaught from Three Amigos. Chanimal is He needs to tap, but he's scared to do it. He is tapping now. We see the full sheep out onto Sodah. Talbadar in a lot of trouble as well. The Charm Rage force there. He's down to 200k. He's going to have to gateway across the map, but Sodah still getting CC. They're split up, and he's not going to be able to get tremored out of any fears because they are so spread out. And Chanimal in the wrong place, man. He's out in the middle of the map. He's got to get out of there. I'm not sure what he's thinking. He needs to take that gateway and get out. He's taking way too much damage right now. It's really kind of spreading Sodah's attention. He's going to have to blow the Tranquility to catch back up.
Wow, but that Tranquility, look at it, healing his entire team back up to full. They can stabilize from this point on. Maybe they can make something happen, but look at the dot damage just on Talb and Chanimal. Just so much damage on both members of this team. The fear coming out onto Chan briefly, which does break as Talb also in trouble still 30 seconds on his Shamanistic Rage with a good Hex onto CDew right as he eats a UA Dispel also. SkillCapped really needs to turn this back around. They need to get the pressure back in their favor.
Yeah, they definitely do. We see the Deep Freeze coming in now onto Sodah. The grounding goes down from Talbadar. He's trying to prevent the CC. Can he do it, though? Talbadar in some trouble here. The Charm Range is available in 10. The nice beam goes down. The Sheep, unfortunately, broken there. That could have been their moment. The Sheep got broken. I'm not sure exactly by what, but there was a full Sheep out on Sodah. No trinket available, and that was a huge time there for them. They weren't able to capitalize, though, and CDew now having the pressure turned around on him. You can see him sitting with that Unleash. He does get the heal off. Going to be able to top back up, but Talbadar, on the back of that mistake, is going to have his Charm Range back up for the next real kind of round of pressure here. And as time goes on, you have to be feeling, Three Amigos realizing they saw what happened to Blacks with Hammers equipped when the game went late, when the dampening started stacking.
We're actually 5 minutes into dampening right now. The match has gone on for about 10 minutes, so it's starting to tick up very slowly, and it's something that you'll start to see in the life bars as these heal over times can't kind of close the gap. Hopefully Sodah is taking that into account, with his cooldown usage. CDew, again, I still think he's doing a great job.
Onto Talbadar, though the orb gets dropped. Unfortunately, not able to connect too much with that. A little bit of a whiff from Venruki. They had the CS onto Sodah, but not really able to capitalize. And Venruki now getting pressured back here by Talbadar. Talbadar trying to stay aggressive, drops the beam. The root beam goes down onto Venruki there, and he is taking some heavy fire from Talbadar and Chanimal. But Sodah now in the background. He's in cap form. I think he wants to try to get a reself or a drink or something. He was sitting in cap for quite some time, but not going to go for that. The bash comes out onto Snutz, who looks like he's going to be the target for now. CDew catching yet another UA Dispel, but it's instantly reapplied there by Chanimal, who's doing a good job, holding onto those soul swaps, bouncing them back and forth as Venruki dips down to 100k. You can really feel the pressure here on the CDew. He has the mana, but he has to make so many right choices to be able to keep his team alive. Chanimal, though, getting caught by the CS. The full howl comes out onto Sodah. Is he going to trigger this? There's a Hex onto Talbadar to deny the Tremor. Beautiful play there offensively from CDew. And can they follow this up onto Sodah? The full sheet comes out. This could spell some trouble if they can push in. Talbadar's going to get away, but the gates are stacked. They need to continue the chase if they want to make something happen. Here comes Snutz over onto Talbadar, but he's going to get knocked back. No, Talbadar mistimed the knock, and we do see that the pressure coming out on the CDew from Chanimal, trying to force him away. MCS comes over onto Sodah. The Gateway comes in. The Nature's Guardian is proccing. The NS comes out from Sodah, and CDew catching another UA Dispel, but feeling confident to survive this onslaught.
As he's going to sit behind the pillar by himself. There we go. Ascendance is popped again. He's using that staff for that extra regen. Gets the Ascendance, big heals up, because it's great to use those mana-efficient heals that are going to splash everywhere. Venruki actually did have to trinket, does have his Alter Time up right now, but gets feared away during it. Talbadar, again, having the Shamanistic Rage, down to half health. Sodah is still not able to pick him up. Looks like Sodah LOSing pretty hard behind that pillar. But again, oh wow, there goes the Deep Freeze, very DR'd.
Oh, the full sheep comes out, though, the palm sheep off of that. And Talbadar, remember, no Charm Rage available, and they have no hots out at all from Sodah right now. They need to follow up on the CC, capitalize on the situation, but they're just not feeling confident to do it. They're not feeling confident to overextend. But look at this this damage coming out on Talbadar. Talbadar was out of the LOS of Sodah, and we do see now he's going to popping some of his offensive. The Shadow Fury comes in, but it's triple DR'd there from Snutz, and Venruki really getting forced back now. CDew needs to land these heals. He does come in with one healing surge. He's going to get howled up. We do see the Tremor being dropped immediately, though, but CDew down in 250k. Snutz going to be cloned up at half HP. Talbadar at half, and Chanimal getting top back off here pretty quickly, but Venruki is dipping down relatively slow. But still, you can see Sodah, because of his aggressive playstyle, this game has not been able to keep the pre-hots up as well as in the past, and there's just not those hots out as much as he would like to have.
Now, actually, during that onslaught, CDew actually took the time to pop a gigantic mushroom too, so that is definitely going to help out later in the game. Talbadar down to half right now, still in LOS in the middle, still catching some damage from Venruki, lots of damage actually, that doesn't have his Nature's, there we go, now the Nature's Guardian did proc. His Healthstone just came back up also if he needs to use it, as Chanimal is soul swapping around, as much as he can, but all those UA Dispels
are... Oh god, Chanimal is looking like he's DC'd. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, they're waiting, man. They're waiting. Talb is still doing some damage, but I don't know. We're going to see what happens here. This is not what we want to see. I don't think he's had any... SkillCapped has not had any internet issues at all throughout the entire tournament. And, he is in... I actually am confused, because they're all in the same house. So if one of them has a problem, that means they're all offline.
Well, I mean, they're still casting, so
So it must be some sort. Maybe his computer crashed or something, because they're all in the same house. So they're all together. So I'm not sure exactly.
I could see Chanimal being the kind of guy who's like jumping up and down while playing, kicked over his
tower.
His tower.
Yeah, but I mean, this is tough, man. If I'm Three Amigos, I don't know if I want to wait for this because they're letting dampening build up. The Heart of the Wild is available.
Oh, there he goes. He just jumped. Okay, so it looks like they're going to go immediately back into it. A Demon Soul hit by Snutz immediately back into the action. But yes, like you said, that is going to play into account. You know, that sportsmanship, these guys are old friends. 5 minutes left, which means dampening is extremely high at this point.
I mean, definitely actually played heavily into the favor of SkillCapped because they're going to have their Heart of the Wild ready, and dampening is going to get huge. Can CDew actually keep up with the healing that he's going to need to do? And Nature's Guardian already proccing there from CDew, and when the Heart of the Wild comes out, this could spell the end for Three Amigos as dampening just gets so big here. You can see CDew struggling to heal himself up back behind the pillar as Ascendance is up in 2. He's going to probably have to use that very quickly here, and I just don't see them being able to live through the next Heart of the Wild. CDew is going to have to play like an absolute god, but I think it might be too late already. He's down so low. The Link has to come out right after that, and they are just struggling, and there's the Heart of the Wild, and this could be it for Three Amigos. I think the first game is looking heavily in the favor, but can they turn around in Talbadar? Sodah maybe getting too aggressive. He's coming out with the Heart of the Wild. Tranquility, it's going to be Shadow Fury up by Snutz. Can they follow it up, though? CDew needs to top his team back off and keep them aggressive at this point. If they can do it, the MCS comes out on Talbadar. They get the Nature's Guardian. Iron Bar coming out as well, but Sodah still with the Heart of the Wild up. The full sheep comes out, though. Beautiful play there from Venruki. They're trying to stay offensive. They force the trinket. It's going to be feared up. Sodah's going to be caught in this. Talbadar could be in trouble. The tremor comes down. He's going to be tremored out of that, but still, the pressure coming out on Talbadar is huge. They need the CC to get back over onto Sodah and try to finish him off. The Nature's Guardian is not available. He's down to 170k, but on the same time, CDew's bashed up. Venruki at 200k. The block is going to be forced, but he may want to cancel and stay offensive. The clone comes in onto CDew, and Sodah starting to stabilize a little bit, but the Heart of the Wild has expired, and CDew somehow kept his team alive through that.
That was incredible. Now, Talbadar does have his Shamanistic Rage back up, so if he is going to be the target of choice, that isn't going to be great for the team of Three Amigos. CDew down to half health right now. Big Howl of Terror landing that is immediately tremored away. There's no trinkets available for Three Amigos, plus Sodah's trinket is down, so whatever offensive push happens in the next few minutes, it's all going to be dependent on the healers kind of preempting whatever onslaught's going to happen.
Yeah, just absolutely incredible play there from Three Amigos to stay alive, to keep them pressured in the midst of the amount of damage coming out of them, which is absolutely incredible. CDew going to get caught by that capstun, though. Venruki dipping down here. Talbadar getting pretty low as well, though. Can they get the CC onto Sodah that they need? We do see the gateway out from Talbadar. He's starting to feel the pressure here. Has to pull back a little bit. He's not able to really just deal with that right now. In Chanimal, they're going to be a big swap on a Chanimal. He's out in the center of the map. Shadow Fury comes out defensively. Venruki hexed up. The orb was connecting onto Chanimal, but he's going to be able to get out of there. CDew still just cleansing off those dots as fast as he possibly can. Venruki sitting low, though, and CDew does drop the Unleash. He's trying to get his team top back off, but he's really struggling at this point. It's so hard for him to heal through this dampening. He's going to get caught by the clone, and this could mean another block here for Venruki, but Chanimal caught into the Howl. Do they have anything for Sodah? Sodah and Talbadar are so split up at this point. The Iron Bar comes out. The grounding goes down. Full Sheep comes out. This could be it for Three Amigos. Can they get the damage they need out on Talbadar? Shaman Rage is popped. The Iron Bark is dropped as well. Do they have follow-up CC for Sodah? Doesn't look like it just yet. He's going to be clear, and then Venruki's so low. He has to block. The block does come out. And what does CDew have left in the tank? It's all up to him to keep his team alive, to keep them offensive, and give them a shot here at getting a kill in the grand finals. But Snutz is so low. The Dark Regen comes out. Will it be enough? Talbadar pushing in, but he's getting too aggressive perhaps. The Shaman Rage is popped. He doesn't have it. He's down so low. The Nature's Guardian comes out, and Sodah's MCS. Can they follow it up? If they have any CC, they could get a kill. But the Iron Bar comes out. The Shadow Fury goes down on Sodah. CS on a Chanimal. They could turn it around on him. In comes the Deep Freeze. He's going to have to trinket that and get out of there. And the NS comes out from Sodah, but CDew still somehow, some way, is keeping his team alive, and Snutz and Venruki are staying offensive.
He's still dispelling too, which is crazy because it's going to take him so much to get these guys back up in life. However, we have way past the 2-minute mark. It must be ticking down to the last few seconds at this point, but look at the life of Three Amigos.
Oh, that triple Shadow Fury comes in from Chanimals. This could be it for them. CDew's going to get hexed up. He has to have the Nature's Guardian proc. He drops the Link. He knows he just can't heal through this at this point. He's going to get bashed, though. The trinket comes out immediately. We just see the Deep Freeze swapped over on a Talbadar. The Howl comes out. A both the DPS. Chanimal and Talbadar down very low. CDew does pop the Through Archer's Grace, and he has his Ascendance up, but I'm not sure if he can heal through this. CDew down so low. The Tranquility is going to get shadow feared immediately by Snutz. Sodah going to be caught in that. Can CDew keep his team alive? Talbadar pops the Shaman Rage. He's down to 180k. We do see Chanimal at 200k as well. The Nature's Guardian is going to proc from Talbadar. Everyone's so low. How are they still alive? There's the heals coming in from Chanimal, but it's not going to be enough. I think he's going to go down. He's at 20k. Chanimal 3k. He goes down. And Three Amigos, are you kidding me? They're going to take first blood in the grand finals. Absolutely unreal play from CDew, Venruki, and Snutz. Maybe the best game I have ever seen.
That was incredible back and forth, especially when Three Amigos was really pushed behind those pillars. CDew barely hanging on. That last link, the Ascendance on top of it, dispelling UAs when his entire team is down below half with that huge dampening. We had 30 seconds remaining in that game when the kill was scored.
I just didn't even think it was possible to heal through that. I'm actually astounded.
Yeah.
CDew played like a god. I mean,
yeah, he did.
I give the guy a lot of crap. But I mean, my man Chuck holding it down. I'll go out and say it. I mean, this is bias. This is favoritism. I don't care. I don't think there's anyone else in the world playing that in that game that could have kept them alive. And they had to play. Their whole team had to play incredible. SkillCapped did everything right and still lost. And we have not seen that in 2 full tournaments. There is no, okay, well, they didn't trinket, that's why they lost. There's no SkillCapped messing up here. SkillCapped played a near perfect game and lost. And that's something that we just have not seen. And that's something that I never expected to see, going that deep into the game, where I do feel that dampening really does go in the advantage of the LSD, especially with that second Heart of the Wild. No team has been able to live through that so far in any tournament against them. That second Heart of the Wild, no chance of living through it, it seemed. But they're proving me wrong, and they're proving everyone wrong. That's the first map that SkillCapped has dropped in 2 tournaments.
Yeah, shout out to Snutz for that Shadow Fury on the Tranquility at the end. That was huge, because we did see the huge offensive pressure from Talbadar. He did have his Ascendance up towards the end. That's when it got really risky for Talbadar. He was sitting, posted up near the pillar, trying to keep as much damage out as possible because the dampening was out, and he did see that CDew was kind of slipping and falling behind. But excellent play by CDew. Like you're saying, I wouldn't imagine anyone could heal that.
Yeah, I mean, that was incredible. We're in for a hell of a series.
Yeah, yes,
I mean, what can you say after that? You can say all you want about all the games. I don't even care. I don't even care if it was what games have happened before this. That game alone was worth the tournament. This was worth the price of admission, guys. I mean, if this doesn't make you want to see more competitive WoW, if that game did not get your blood pumping a little bit, then you're not a fan of WoW. You're not a fan of competitive PvP, because that was one of the best games I've ever had the privilege to see, and in my opinion, the best game that I've ever had the chance to catch.
Yeah, and it's that moment, the heat of the moment, when you are extremely stressed as a healer. You have 3 targets to keep up. You have to pay attention to your tremor cooldown, your cooldowns that are coming back up, because there are times when you watch a streamer and somebody dies on the team late in a game and they're like, oh, my tremor was back up and I forgot, or my spirit link came back up, my ice block came back up and I didn't realize it, my cold snap came back up. But these guys are so omnipotent about, they know everything that's going on, the enemy team, the cooldowns of them. It's just incredible when you get to this level of play, and I love that we're seeing it in the finals.
Yeah, just fantastic stuff, and I want to get into the next game. Screw this, let's watch it. Yeah. Let's watch the WoW, guys.
Not to mention, there was only 30 seconds left.
Yeah, ridiculous.
That was next to the last match between who was it? I'm sorry.
Between Three Amigos and PHE?
Yeah, that was the second longest match we've had in the tournament.
Yeah.
30 seconds left. Like you said, what more can you say about CDew too? Oh my god!
Absolutely.
This is one of the things that we were talking about earlier. We were talking about how there's a difference between long games doesn't equal boring games.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's about play style. It's about level of play. Long wizard games that are maybe a tier above the world elite can be boring. That was one of the longest games we've had. That was also by far the most exciting game we've had. And it doesn't have to be slow. It doesn't have to be boring. That was incredible. And let's go, guys.
Yeah, let's get right back into this second matchup between Team SkillCapped and Three Amigos.
I will say the one thing about playing on a tournament realm is you don't have those awesome transmogs. Can't kill people in style. You're stuck with the the base season 15 gear.
Yeah, the truth is, the biggest step, to doing well in Arena is actually looking really cool.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you
zoom
see,
in
but
at the end.
I have full tier 3 on my end. I have Warlock from Nax.
Yep.
I mean, that is really the only reason I've had success in Arena is because I look like a badass. So unfortunately for these guys, they can't look like that, but it's on even ground because none of them look cool.
All right, right out of the gate, of course, Three Amigos taking that first game. That was incredible.
Yeah, definitely pretty insane. This is going to be the map pick here from SkillCapped. They want to close it up a little bit. They want to stay, I guess, right in their face. And I mean, that's kind of what I'm hearing from this map pick, because it's a very tight map. The gateways aren't very big. They're going to be allowed to kind of stay in each other's faces a lot. So we're going to have to find out exactly what does go down here. But I mean, it is going to be a little bit of a ramp up. We're not going to start right at the kind of intensity the last game went to, but I'm hoping we're going to get there.
Yeah, and you see very, very defensive play out of Three Amigos. They are trying to get the setup that they want from the start. Talbadar pushing in pretty far at this point, wanting to try to negate as much of that LOS as possible. But again, look at the damage coming out because he did that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of damage that's going to be possible to come out on both sides, man. You got to be really careful, and you got to be aware at all times. One mistake in these early games could still cost them their tournament. It is a best of 5. You're down one game, but Talbadar, Chanimal, and Sodah are going to be looking to battle back here. They definitely don't want to go down 2 games, and they're going to have to secure themselves a win on this map to really kind of just keep that momentum from swinging too far into Three Amigos' favor.
Yeah, we saw a clone come out on 2 clones actually come out on to Venruki right there, whose trinket is down because he willed a fear earlier to try to stay offensive. Snutz also had to will just a moment ago too, but those Dark Soul, Demon Soul dots coming out on both teammates right now, or all team members rather, as Talb is going to try. It seems he's going to be the initiator so far on this team. He's playing very, very offensive, trying to stick behind those pillars, the boxes, and he's actually had a quite number of great thunderstorms already.
Yeah, he's very good with that, knocking them out into bad positions, forcing the team into tough spots, and really that's how he keeps them in his LOS to get those casts off. But we can see already the pressure coming out onto Three Amigos is pretty big. CDew, I have to say, they're handling it a little bit better than the start of last game. It looks a little less hectic, but still, I mean, Spearwalker's Grace up here, both his DPS at half HP. Snutz even dipping down much lower than that. CDew actually is getting knocked away, and he's going to maybe take some harassment on his way back to the pillar here. Snutz going to get Shadow Furied up. We do see the full fear onto Sodah. His Heart of the Wild is out, so they're going to have to be careful here. We may have to see some big healing cooldowns coming out, but they're actually going to throw the deep freeze onto Sodah, MCS onto Talb. We see the damage coming out onto both Talb and Chanimal, and a full sheep now into Sodah, and this could actually turn around pretty bad here. And this is one of the downsides of going so aggressive with your Heart of the Wild. Sometimes you can kind of get caught a little bit too aggressive, and that can start to really swing it back in the favor of the other team.
Yeah, it was amazing. Venruki actually was chunked down really low, but not having to block, choosing to toss out that the poly onto Sodah. So that was a great call right there, saving those defensive cooldowns, which might play later into the match. CDew eating a UA Dispel plus a Hex on top of it. So that's the second Demon Soul coming out. Venruki down to half. Still, CDew really has to pick it up healing-wise, as you see the clone come out on CDew, followed by Snutz. So lots of clones coming out with a fear onto Venruki. It is tremored out. It's great for him, though he's running away from his healer right now. Oh, there we go. Now CDew is going to take the gate, and it's going to ascend it to try to pick his team back up. Look at that, one heal almost topping off his entire team.
Yeah, definitely a pretty insane healing there. We do see the deep freeze over onto Sodah, though. Talbadar taking some pressure here. Could be in a little bit of trouble. It's just if they have the follow-up. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to land it onto Sodah just yet. We do see the Shadow Fury going to come down onto both Chanimal and Talbadar. Nicely placed there by Snutz. But Sodah actually will. You can see that he's going to be pushing in here. The Tranquility does go out, and he's going to try to keep his team offensive. As CDew getting knocked into a bad spot, he's going to get mass entangled there by Sodah as well. The Nature's Guardian is already proc here from CDew. The dots do fall off him. The beam down on Snutz, so he has to pop his healing cooldowns, and CDew is going to get bashed up. And SkillCapped has kind of pinned Three Amigos down into this corner. I think they're in an awful position right now. Playing down on those stairs. I don't know if it's going to work out for them, but the MCS comes out on Talb. Deep freeze onto Sodah. Nice full ring there by Venruki. Can they get anything from this? They need to if they really want to start turning this back in their favor, because I just feel like where they're playing, it's kind of just allowing both Chanimal and Talbadar to just kind of turret on them. Yeah,
now Talb doing a great job right there preventing the follow-up sheep after the ring by Venruki. Even though he was behind the pillar, really playing defensive for his healer, which is something they need to have out of this elemental shaman. Talbadar trying to post up and deal some damage, though, switching it right back offensive immediately, as he is down to about half. Those lava surge procs coming constantly due to the number of targets that he has that flame shock up on. Down to half right now with Nature's Guardian proc, so that was a pretty big offensive push, as it was the Storm Lash that came down by CDew helping that out. Snutz soul swapping around all those dots as much as he can, but looks like Sodah's doing a good job of keeping his team almost topped.
Yeah, definitely, fantastic consistent play, not only in this game, but throughout the entire tournament by Sodah. Just really hard to ever call him out on a mistake because it just doesn't make them. SkillCapped has been playing fantastic, and they're really kind of just setting the pace here. But once again, they have recovered, and because they put so much pressure on CDew, and because they keep him CC'd so much, his mana is always high. So although they get these massive pressure spikes, these massive kind of waves of pressure, as it does subside, as they run out of CC and interrupts for CDew, he's able to top his team back off, and he's able to stay high on mana. He's just being so efficient with it. When you see the deep freeze comes out on Sodah, he's already pre-shifted it. Can they get the ring on it? The orb comes out onto Talbadar. They do have that full ring on his Sodah. Shaman Rage has to be popped here, but will be enough. There's no hots up. If they can follow this up on Sodah, they could force out a trinket or something perhaps, but Talbadar already pulling back, and they're forcing CDew to kind of be a little bit scared, and that's making his team a little bit hesitant to push forward here as well. The clone does come out there onto Venruki from Sodah. Shaman Rage going to expire here from Talbadar, and we do see back kind of just to a more stable spot. The Halotera does come out there onto Chanimal, and Tal intelligently holds the Tremor, not going to panic and use that, but really no hots right now onto Talbadar, and Sodah's feared up, and he's out of range. The beam goes down defensively, but it's going to be trinketed. There's a deep freeze onto Sodah. Talbadar in some trouble here. He needs to be careful. The Nature's Guardian does proc, and we do see the Iron Bark is up there as well. They don't have any more follow-up for Sodah, though, so he's going to get out of this, it looks like, but Shaman Rage not up for 30 still, and the Ueda spell actually from Chanimal there onto Sodah, and maybe that was a bit of a wrong choice, because can they capitalize on this? Talbadar was getting pretty low, but no, the regrowths do come in, and Sodah's going to keep him just fine.
Able to get out of the woods right there. Sodah doing a great job of sitting all that CC. Still has his trinket up after that huge onslaught. CDew again dispelling a UA with a fear and a thunderstorm off of it. Going to tremor out of that. Trying to get back to his team. Actually choosing to gateway away. This is actually pretty smart because the two casters from the enemy team were almost on his face right there. Yeah. As he is going to run back. Talbadar gets steeped around the corner, does trinket that. That was a smart play. Sodah was playing back through the boxes, so he wasn't able to heal him through that waterfall at that point. Down to half still. Seems like Talbadar constantly is getting dipped down to the point where Nature's Guardian is proccing or almost proccing. Yeah, it is. And I mean, he had to trinket that. He didn't have the Shaman Rage available. Sodah wasn't there to help him out. So, intelligent trinket. He's not going to hesitate on it. That's one of the things that I love about this SkillCapped team. Is they make those choices instantly. They don't wait until the end and then have to use multiple cooldowns. They use only one, and that's why they're so hard to finish off. That's why they rotate through these cooldowns and have so much success, is because it's consistent, intelligent play, intelligent decisions time after time. They know what they have to use. There's no hesitation. Boom, he trinkets. He gets out of it with just the trinket. There's no NS being wasted. There's no anything else. I can't remember the last time we've said that there's been overlap CC in any of these games so far. Bash onto CDew, who's next to the pillar right there. Again, another ring on to Sodah. Looks like it's going to be a full ring too. Counterspell on to Talbadar, who's sitting in that in the orb. This is actually not looking too good, as a follow-up fear is going to land on Sodah, who is going to sit it with no trinket. Nature's Guardian procs yet again from Talbadar, and again Sodah not choosing to trinket, even though his Ellie Shaman was kind of in trouble. Yeah, I mean he was, but he had the Shaman Rage and the Iron Bark up. They know the damage reduction was there to keep him alive. The burst had mostly ended. That's another one of those intelligent decisions. That was, there's no way he was going down after all the procs had been used by Venruki, after the orb had expired, and he still had that Shaman Rage up. So very well played once again there by Sodah and SkillCapped, but a nice, offensive burst there. We do see the defreeze on Sodah once again. Now they're going to be going hard on Talbadar. If he can get caught, this could be a little bit scary for him. You can see CDew purging off those hots aggressively, keeping him stripped down as much as he possibly can, and making it hard for Sodah. We do see the Shadow Fear coming in out of Sodah. Now the deep is probably going to come in. We do see the MCS onto Talbadar. The Halotera comes out with that. That one is going to be broken by the dot damage. Chanimal actually having to sit through this. Doesn't want to waste his trinket and be open to that deep freeze swap. We do see the Capstun is actually going to catch Talbadar as well into a Refear. Sodah trying to get back over to his team. We do see the NS up there from Sodah. He's actually going to NS clone, but he's going to get deep. It's triple DR'd, unfortunately. Will the ring still catch him? No, it doesn't look like it. The Iron Bark, does go up there onto Talbadar. Nature's Guardian proccing once again. Sodah
was a little bit far away there from his teammates, and as a result, Nature's Guardian will proc, but I imagine Talbadar is going to have that Shaman Rage back up.
It just came back up, yeah, and it was incredible seeing that Sodah hold on this entire time. Still no trinket use from Talbadar or Sodah during that. It was a great job of Venruki chasing Sodah around those boxes. Sodah wasn't able to get to Talbadar whatsoever. Fear comes out onto Chanimal, and Chanimal actually uses the trinket on that Fear because he wants to get the maximized dots out with the Demon Soul. Big Cyclone onto CDew as Venruki is getting kind of low at this point, choosing to run away, and there we go, forces a block with that follow-up Cyclone.
Yeah, look at those 3 Lava Burst procs, deep balls just flying out into the air, dude, and that is why you have to block at that HP. He's 100k, almost to the pillar, but those procs are going to shoot out through the LOS. That's something you have to be aware of against those Shamans, and we do see the Ring of Frost is going to catch him. CDew is down a little bit low. The Ice Block unit was used there. The Fear comes in onto Sodah. It's a DR Sheep as well. We're 10 minutes now into the game, so Dampening going to be stacking up. We do see the Halater going to catch 2. CDew has the Unleash up. What's he going to be able to get done with a nice Shadow Clear? Catches 3. The Halater going to catch 3 as well. Looks like no Tremor is available. Sodah going to have to sit through that. Chanimal as well, not wanting to blow the will there. Talbadar taking some damage here, but the Iron Bark is up. The Hots are up as well. And you can also see constant rebuffs. He's putting up that Water Walking and just the trash debuffs, or buffs rather, I should say, to kind of try to make up for all those Hots being perked off. But a nice Capstun is going to be thrown and catch CDew, and CDew could be in some trouble here. The Beam to follow it up. Beautiful plays here by Talbadar. They're going to go hard onto CDew, but they're trying to turn it around. Deep Freeze onto Sodah. The Orb comes out as well. CDew, Nature's Guardian, is going to proc. He's going to have to drop the Link, and that was all set up by Talbadar. What a play there. Lands that perfect thrown Capstun into the Root Beam, but CDew's not out of the woods just yet. We see the Battlemaster has to come out as the Nature's Guardian was expiring. CDew knew he was in trouble, and he may still be. He's going to land the Healing Surge. He's going to recover, but Talbadar making the plays, forcing out the cooldowns.
It was, yeah. We even saw the Rip come out from Sodah, or the Rake rather, and it's incredible to see that little amount of damage push from Sodah. I don't believe that was Heart of the Wild at all, so it was just a little bit of damage that he could help out, obviously building up combo points for later. Talbadar down to half right now. Sodah's still looking fine, not having to trinket anything, trying to play the maximum 40 yards right now, getting some heals, but he does get deep. It's going to be a follow-up ring, which actually is going to land on him, so he's going to have to sit through that entire thing. Talbadar still trying to stay very, very offensive, even though his healer is in that ring, because he knows that they don't have too many cooldowns. That orb was used very recently. Should be coming back up in a bit. Snutz in that short Cyclone with CDew sitting absolute full mana at this point. He just needs to pick his team up, and then they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, they are, man, and we'll see. Three Amigos was able to last through the dampening last time. Can they really pull that off again? I'm not sure. Talbadar, though, taking a lot of pressure here. He's going to be in some trouble. Oh, looks like some more internet issues at the SkillCapped house. He's kind of... Wait, maybe
he's turning.
Moving. But
might be Sodah?
Maybe... Where's Chanimal at? Chanimal was the one who had a problem last time. Could be Chanimal over in the corner. I'm not sure. I don't know, man.
Tal might die to agony right here.
They don't have to wait if they don't want to. Maybe
no, definitely not. I think Snutz poking a little fun at him, tossing that agony that is doing more than those hots on him. He has to look out. And Nature's Guardian procs through the agony damage right there with that refreshed agony. It looks like they're moving around a little bit. There we go.
Talbot's there. Talbot's definitely there. So I'm just kind of confused how, if they're all in the same connection, some of them are going down, but others aren't. But I mean, like I said, they don't have to wait, man. And they're going to kill him off. They're not going to wait this time. They say screw it. They don't want to go through damping again. Wow. And that's 2-0 for Three Amigos, and I cannot blame them. They waited last time. That was fair play. Yep.
But it actually ended up being in the favor of SkillCapped too.
It is for sure. And I mean, once again, this would have been on the second Heart of the Wild coming up from Sodah. And it's unfortunate for SkillCapped for sure. I can guarantee you they're not faking DCs. It's nothing. It's nothing like that. There's no sort of slimy play going on. But it's not obviously the internet going out. It must be some sort of the game's crashing or some sort of computer type issue here, because we're seeing all these guys are in the same house on the same connection and everything, as far as I know, but they're not having the same problems. Not all of them are going down. And the fact of the matter is, if you wait, the longer it goes. I mean, we saw them live through the dampening, but let's be honest, is that really going to be? Can you rely on that?
It's not like they lived that cleanly through the dampening. Right. It was extremely close the entire time.
Yeah, and I mean, disappointing for SkillCapped, but that's 2-0 right now for Three Amigos. They're at match point at this point, and like I said, I can't blame him for taking that win. You know, I talked about it earlier, and we even talked about this theoretical situation. What happens if it happens in the grand finals, the last games? And I mean, they waited. They did wait there. They gave him about a minute or two. But how much longer do you wait? Do you wait till it's dampening's almost fully stacked? He gets back in. They all have all cooldowns. Heart of the Wild's popped, and then it's like, guess what? Damage cooldowns are worth more than healing cooldowns at that point in the game. And that's why Druids have the advantage in dampening, because Heart of the Wild means you're now a 3 DPS team. You're no longer, you know, 2 DPS. And with Heart of the Wild, you put out full dots on them, and you can go into cat form, and the amount of damage you put out is just unrivaled, and no other healer can keep up with that. And that's 45 seconds of hell, basically, for the other healer, where it's almost impossible to heal through. So I can't blame them for making that decision, and that is going to put them at match point.
It was actually about 13 minutes in, so dampening was in. That was getting close to the point when it becomes very scary for the healer, especially CDew, who definitely did handle it well, like we said.
Yeah. I mean, how long can you wait? Like you said, at the grand finals with a $10,000 prize pool, you kind of got to call it.
Yeah.
Right now, we're going to go to a commercial. SkillCapped gets things figured out with their connection issues. After that, SkillCapped versus Three Amigos. Welcome back to the grand finals of Live Entertainment's first 3v3 World of Warcraft Invitational Tournament. I'm your host, Jason McCall, along with famed commentators Azael and VHel. Just want to remind everyone you can go to pvp-live.com for all your PvP-related news. Also, we have a sub button right below on Twitch. Guys, I mean, crazy matchup, that first match. Then we got the DC. Looks like SkillCapped has things figured out, so we're going to get back to the matches pretty soon here. Zil, you want to give a little recap of what we saw?
I mean, honestly, the games have been insane. And that second game was very intense, and it was kind of just ramping up to the point where it was about to get wild, where dampening starts to make it really, really hard. You see both teams kind of going on these offensive little spikes where people are getting really low, and the healers are struggling to heal them back up, but they do. But then once you start getting dampening, those kind of down times where you're sitting really low and the healer's struggling last longer and longer and longer, and it becomes more and more hard to pick your team back up. So the kill opportunities just kind of exponentially increase.
Right. You know what I'm glad to see? We've sat through a lot of wizard mirrors in the past at tournaments, and especially without that dampening, the play becomes pretty flat towards the end of those matches. It's like, the same thing that's happening at 5 minutes is happening, at the 20-minute mark, or even further, depending on the time limit. The dampening definitely speeds things up with this. Unfortunate for the disconnect, then you've got that moment of, should I recommit? Should we let him do it? This might play a disadvantage. But even not even counting dampening whatsoever, especially in the beginning of the matches, there's that first big burst, maybe a Heart of the Wild gets used early, but these are exciting matches beginning to end. Mm-hmm. It's not like the little lull periods of waiting for the cooldowns to come up. I mean, because on these classes, it's pretty much up all the time. You look at that, obviously the Heart of the Wild and the Stormlash totems are going to be those long cooldowns, but the Demon Souls are constantly coming back up. We've got that Ascendance every once in a while throwing things into the mix.
Well, an orb and everything.
Yeah.
Or deep, anytime that's up, there's potential to make something happen. And I mean, just the skill level of these players, the fact is they're able to balance the offensive and the defensive play so well, and that's what makes it much more interesting. You see much more kind of the linear play with some of the other teams where it's you're defensive or you're offensive. You know what I mean? There's like not so much of a mix. Whereas we saw, especially in the first game, it's like everyone's dead, but they're still attacking. You know what I mean? It's like, especially in dampening, it's one of those things where one of the tough lessons of dampening, I think one of the things that too many people don't understand is that doing damage is now worth exponentially more than healing. The whole recovery thing is now not really a thing anymore because every point of damage you do is worth that much more. You know what I mean? If your healing is 50% worse, every point of damage you do is worth 50% more. So it's going offensive and everything and staying offensive in the midst of that is extremely important. But you can't go overly so, or you're just going to die. So it's kind of like walking a tightrope. But only the very best players, I think, are able to kind of do that perfectly.
Right. Yeah, and especially when you're playing against a healer such as a Resto Druid, which has that one breaking point of we see it in early seasons, especially when the HOTS aren't powerful enough, that once you get over that break point and that your HOTS can start to help the team out, that gives you the time to push in Cyclone and stuff like that. So every little bit of damage just helps out in dampening.
Big time.
Getting right back into the matches between SkillCapped and Three Amigos.
Oh, and their map choice, of course, Blade's Edge. Doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Having that LE Shaman is going to break a lot of stuff up. There's going to be the knockoffs and, having your Warlock being able to port up. There's so many different things that this team can do with this Z-axis.
Yeah, I mean, there is a ton that they can do. And also, not only just for survivability type issues where you can kind of knock them down and break up burst that way, you can also split teams up a lot. If you get in between two players and knock them off on opposite sides of the map, then you can kind of converge on one of them and make it very, very tough for them to stay alive. We're going to see Talbadar just pushing in there. He doesn't want to let that gateway go off, but he's going to be able to throw down that thunderstorm. And his team's going to start off with the gateway, and Snutz is not. So it's not going to be the biggest deal. Snutz will get a gateway eventually, but it's going to be an annoying start for them. And you may see the Heart of the Wild come out instantly and just try to kind of snowball this early advantage into some forced cooldowns.
Yeah, and it might be the kind of thing where they're going to harass Snutz to the point where he's not going to be able to get a gateway off for very while. But look at this, turning it right back onto Talbadar as he's going to take a lot of damage. That Cenarian Ward already hit on him. Plus the dots coming out from Snutz. As you see, CDew is already dispelling all those dots off his team.
Yep, he is definitely going to be doing that throughout the entire game. He really has to. You can't just let those flame shocks stay up too much. If the flame shocks and everything are up constantly, you just get so many procs that just never ends. You're just shooting at those meatballs the whole game, dude. So we do see the fear coming out onto Sodah. The orb did go out there. Was connecting briefly on both. Chanimal actually going to trinket that. Wow.
The deep freeze, like, instantly.
Yeah, that was a little bit, I think, preemptive to me. He was still, about 600,000 HP, and it was the tail end of the orb. Most of the procs had already been used. I think he could have just kind of gated out of there. But he is going to have that down, and we'll see if they want to try to capitalize on that. But right now, Sodah is just so far away from his team after having sat that fear. Nature's Guardian is going to proc. The Iron Bark goes up. A Reju is up there as well, but Chanimal getting low, Talbadar getting low. Sodah comes out of the MCS, but it's one of those situations where did he wait too long, man? Is he going to be able to catch back up? Everyone on CDew's team is rotting as well, so that is what they have going for them, and it looks like Sodah will be able to top his team back off with this tranquility from the low ground, but he's going to get palm sheeped on that. And can they set anything up off this? I think there's enough stacks of the tranquility hot to keep him full HP.
Yes, Chanimal is going to be right in his face. His port is actually dropped right where CDew is normally healing too, so he can stay offensive with that port, those port howls, but not able to use it to get away too much. As Talbadar taking a lot of damage, Nature's Guardian procs yet again. That Iron Bark comes up as he's trying to do some damage onto Venruki, who's going to LOS a lot of those casts, as we do see Chanimal is going to port back up himself. As a big fear comes out as the I do believe the tremor
the first block maybe forced here. There's a fear on CDew. Yep, that's going to force it. The block already down there. He did throw the decurse, just trying to pinch it off, just trying to hold out that block, but he's not able to do it. And we see the ice block lift isn't being played, of course. We do see those deep freezes, just every single deep freeze onto Sodah, and I love that. They're using that for the CC. They realize that that's what they're going to have to do. And Shaman Rage popped there by Talbadar, and I feel like SkillCapped is starting to get a little bit nervous. I don't want to say tilted, but that's kind of what I'm getting at right here. And this game compared to the other ones, they have not looked the same. I mean,
he Shaman Raged and just walked through that through the frozen orb. So it was both Chanimal and Talb were eating frozen orb procs at that point and feeding him those fingers. But look at this cyclone onto CDew. Venruki getting very low. His hypothermia is off at this point, but forcing a second block this early could
this could be a kill on Talbadar. Remember, he wasted that Shaman Rage just seconds ago, and we do see that Nature's Guardian procking already, but he's going to be in some trouble anyway. Sodah does get down there. Can they get the CC over? But this is the first game where they've been wasting those defensive cooldowns. Every other time has been rotated perfectly. And we did see the wasted trinket, in my opinion, from Chanimal, and then a completely wasted Shaman Rage there from Talbadar. And this is something that can happen. You can get frustrated. These guys are friends, but if they kill you off when you're DC'd, even if it's understandable, you might be pretty pissed at that point. And I think that this could come into play. They're just not looking as clean as they have been in the previous games, and we'll see if that comes into play. I mean, they're still doing very well, and this map is very much so in their favor, I think. So it's not like they can't take it, but one mistake can cost them the series.
Yeah, as Talb is going to have his Shamanistic Rage back up, down to half already, getting kind of low with that beam. Nature's Guardian procs yet again. Hasn't had to use that Shamanistic Rage, though. Sodah is sitting fine back by himself and is actually able to support his teammate. See that Healing Tide Totem dropped from Talbadar right there. Snutz down to about half. Looks like he might be the target, but it's damage everywhere. That Thunderstorm comes down a decent knock as CDew is going to dispel and be by himself down below. But again, look at this constant pressure onto Talbadar.
Yeah, and this is putting out so much damage onto him. Sodah, though, one thing to really keep in mind, he has not actually had to use his trinket yet. So that is huge, and he's going to be able to hold on to that for quite some time. CDew going to be put in the clone. Still has his trinket up as well, though. So, I definitely think that it's looking pretty even. Most of the pressure has come out from SkillCapped overall, but there's been more kill chances onto Talbadar than there has on anyone else. There's the sheep onto Chanimal. It's going to be dotted up, though. We'll see when they can get that next CC on Sodah. It could be coming here. We do see the Ascendants had been popped here by Talbadar, but he's getting forced back. Full sheep out onto Sodah. If they can catch back up to Talbadar here, could be in some trouble. Could at least force out that Shaman Rage. We do see there's no follow-up just yet, though, onto Sodah. The Shaman Rage was forced out, though, as there's no hots out. He definitely needed to use that. Charmer Totem comes down. Triple Howl from Snutz, going to be able to force that. Nicely played. We do see the offensive beam onto Van, or rather a defensive beam, but it's not going to be too effective. The roots did break immediately. He was able to just walk right out of it.
As Snutz, I do believe, broke out of that cyclone. As CDew eats another dispel, Venruki is going to be caught in that hex. They broke up the pressure a little bit, but again, the entire team of SkillCapped standing near each other, and they all eat that Shadow Fury, as they are retreating a little bit due to Sodah eating the CC chain and not wanting to to break it with a trinket, as we do see a fear, as he does get feared far away from that. Looks like here comes the Heart of the Wild. He might have to. Wow, I don't know about this.
Oh, he gets frozen. It's going to be super DR. The Nature's Guardian does proc out, and yeah, that is a defensive heart, which is not usually how you see Sodah use it, but you realize they were behind. They needed to use that.
Tranquility,
back up.
Massive heals from that Tranquility picks his team back up. Maybe they can make something happen from this. They can stay offensive. Sodah might be able to squeeze some damage out on this. There we go. Now we see some Moonfires and some Wraths coming out. The Wraths onto CDew. Oh, as he does get locked on that second one, but CDew taking a ton of damage right now. That beam comes down on top of him, but Talbadar is going to be having to use that Shamanistic Rage as he was sitting again in that frozen orb.
He split up, dude. He has no hots on himself right now, and Sodah is kind of split up from him. The NS is going to have to come out there. It is an NS clone onto Venruki, actually. That's going to be triggered immediately. CDew under a lot of pressure. He's going to get feared up, but they do have the cross fear onto Sodah. Could they get something going here onto Talbadar? We'll see. CDew is going to be able to heal himself back up now behind the pillar, and they could start to turn this around if they can continue the CC onto Sodah. It doesn't look like it just yet. Talbadar does have his Strong Rage available, I do believe, but we'll have to see if that's going to have to be used. Sodah put into a sheep. Looks like it is somewhat DR'd. Everyone on Three Amigos down to about half HP right now. Sodah going to be coming out of that CC. No, the deep freeze is going to force the trinket. Is Talbadar dangerously low? This could be it. There's no Nature's Guardian available. The MCS comes out. That's going to be it. He's going to go down. Three Amigos take it 3-0, and they are going to be able to landslide that into a 3-0 victory in the grand finals, and they are your first ever live entertainment 3 versus 3 PvP champions.
Yeah, and that was so close because during that onslaught when they were chasing Talbadar around, he turned around, posted up, and started casting into Venruki and actually forced the block. Had they been able to turn it around a little bit more, there could have been a lot more damage coming out, to kind of turn the game around. But wow, CDew just did such a great job in that match yet again.
Yep, yeah, fantastic play, but a bit of a disappointing end to me, for me. This was not the skill cap that we saw throughout the tournament. It just wasn't. They were not playing as well.
Especially in that last match.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the last match was just not them. And to me, that's frustration. To me, that's the first game. They lost, but it was probably the best game I've seen. Best game I've ever commentated for sure. And they played very, 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 very well. They made really no mistakes. Second game was really the same kind of thing, and I think that it was just frustration showing through in the third game. They played a damn good game in the second one. The DC did come in again. The first time, Three Amigos waited for the DC completely. They waited like 3 or 4 minutes or whatever it was in the first game. They got back in. They still won. Second game, they waited a couple minutes, didn't come back on. They just took the win. And I think that that just ruined the mindset of SkillCapped. I think that their frustration was showing. You started to see the impatience. You started to see the mistakes that you just never saw before. And, you started to see them kind of trying to force kills and using defensive cooldowns at times when it really wasn't needed. And it just Three Amigos, you can't make those mistakes against these guys. I
think Talbadar and Sodah got split up a lot during that last match. There was a couple times when he was dangerously low, but it was incredible the amount of damage onto Talbadar beginning to end. They didn't even look at Chanimal or Sodah whatsoever, except for a little bit of cross CC, but other than that, everything was dumped into him.
Yeah, but really, you can't blame SkillCapped too much. I mean, they played an incredible tournament before that. They were able to not drop a single map all the way to the grand finals. They're going to finish in second place. So hats off to them. Congratulations, to Talbadar, Chanimal, and Sodah. They're going to be a mainstay in the tournament scene. As long as there's tournaments, these guys are going to be back, and I'm sure that they're going to be looking to get some revenge on Three Amigos next time around. But you do have your grand final champions. It's going to be CDew, Venruki, and Snutz, and a big congratulations to them as well, and just a fantastic tournament overall, and live entertainment did a great job.
Yeah, I wish you guys could be in this studio with me right now. I mean, when they're commentating, the amount of energy that's going through this room, I'm not kidding you, is absolutely amazing. I've never seen anything like it.